Hello and welcome back to my channel. We are going to continue with part 3, how to make a journal. And today we are going to do the cover. This is the 2 signature we did yesterday. And now it's time to do the measurements for the cover. So I'm going to use a file folder. Looks like this. And you can use a cereal box. You can use whatever paper or cardboard you have. Don't go and buy anything. Take what you have, an old box or something that is a bit more sturdy than ordinary paper. So this is some old file folders that has these hanging type of things in it. So I need to open it up. So I'm sure it will be big enough for the journal. I think it's enough to open up one, but let's do the other one while we are at it. Like that. So now we are going to see how big we need to have this. We are going to have a 1-inch spine. So let's do a little measurements to see where we are going to do the folding. Should we go for 1.5 maybe? Yes, let's go for 1.5. Then we have a lot of place in case we want to do a lot of decorating. That's always fun. Like that. If you have a board for making these creases, you can use that. And if not, just take your ruler and do like this. Bend it towards your ruler and make another crease onto the journal. So now you have your spine like that. Then we are going to take the journal and see how wide we need to have it. And about 0.5 centimeter or maybe 1 centimeter in on either side. Am I in frame? Yes, on either side of the signature. So once again, I'm taking my ruler and doing a little mark kind of where I want to cut it. It's a bit big to show you on my little table, but you got it's 8 centimeter left here. So I'm measuring the same so I can do a straight line. Doing the same on the other side, measuring 8 centimeters on 2 spots, so I'm sure it will be straight. And make a line. So then I'm cutting this. So now we have the spine and we have the length way that is right. So then we need to check how wide it needs to be. So I'm putting my journal against the spine like that. If you do like this, it won't be right. You're not sure where it's going to be. So to be sure and not make any wrong cuts, it's easiest to do it like this, so you can see properly where you are going to put your signature, and then do like this and hold it in place. And the same way I'm doing my mark, kind of 1/2 centimeter longer than the longest paper. So we have a little bit more to play with. Doing the measurements from the spine and to my mark. And I'm going to change that to 15.5 just for simplicity. And then again putting my ruler and just 15.5 and a mark, 15.5 and a mark. Don't think so much about the numbers that I'm saying, because next time you want to do a journal that is maybe 2 centimeters wider or a mini one, so think more about that you are going to leave 1/2 centimeter or between 1/4 and 1/2 inch, depending on how much space you want around your papers. If you think that way, it's easy to do whatever size you would like on your journal. So don't get stuck in the measurements and the numbers. Sorry if I'm not in frame every second, but it's a bit difficult when you have these big things to work with. Don't throw these away. These are perfect when you're going to use them as tags for the decoration later on. So don't throw anything away. So we have our cover. So now you can see, if you then think that it's too much, you can just cut off a little bit more. But I'm thinking that this is nice to have that little extra space around it. I think that's protecting the decorations, and you can put in more things if you would like to, if you have a cover that is a little bit bigger. That's always nice. Put on tabs and things like that. So then we are going to decorate this, and now you need to decide if you want to have papers, if you want to have textile, or whatever you want to. Wallpaper is also a thing you can use. So go and fetch something that you can use to cover the paper with, and I will take a little moment and go and fetch something myself. So I will just stop the video for a second, and then I will be back with my wraparound. So for the simplicity and the most simple way to do it is to use some white old bed linen. This is some old ones from the beginning of 1900. I got them because of the laces that often are on top of them, and then I have a lot of textile as a leftover from cutting out the laces that are on these, kind of like these old ones that are put on these. So when I cut them off, I have a whole sheet of textile as a leftover, and I'm going to put this on the front and on the back as a start, and then we are going to decorate it. One way to do it is to do like I have done on this one, and this is a loose topper, so it's a closure where you have the decoration sewn onto. That way you can use your journal plain if you would like to, and then put on this when you have used it, and you don't risk to do some damage on your decorations. So this is one way to do it. And the other way is like you saw on the other I showed you, where we do the decoration straight onto the journal. So I haven't decided yet how we are going to do it, but I want to show it to you like this, so you can see the difference between using a journal topper and do it like this when where the decoration is sewn and glued on directly to the cover. So you can do it each way. This one is one that are still in my Etsyshop. So I had a little difficulty I thought I had sold everything that I had a loose cover on, but this was still available, so I had with the loose cover to show you. And that way you don't have you can put on more bulky things and sharp things. Kind of, you can put on wooden sticks if you would like to on the spine maybe, and do a really creative journal. But when you take this off, you still have a plain journal to work in. It's a bit easier than to have a lot of bulky things that is permanently stuck onto your cover. So let's start with putting on some glue and glue the textile down. And I'm thinking I will take another piece depending on how strong your paper is, or your cardboard. I'm going to put an extra piece onto the spine just to give it some more strength when we are going to sew it. So if you have something that is really strong already and thick, oops, a lot of water in that one. Haven't shaken it. I filled it up, so then as this opening is so small, I put in a bit of water in my bookbinding glue, but I haven't shaked it enough, I think. Then I'm just taking my brush and making sure that the glue is all the way to the edges. And then I'm putting this down. Doesn't matter, we are going to put glue on all of it. So then this will be on the inside where I have put this strength piece, kind of like that. But we can put the glue on. We can put it on the inside as we already have a lot of glue. Maybe we can glue it. This bookbinding glue is a bit thick, so that's why I put water in it. It's a bit easier to get it everywhere I want. Give it a little bit of water. Make sure you put glue in the creases between the spine and the cover sides. So I'm making sure that I have enough of textile. And then I'm continuing gluing on either side of the spine. I'm using my homemade brushes because I have a bit of fibromyalgia and a bit of arthritis in my hands. So this is so sturdy and nice to hold in your hands. I make these from driftwood. I like the feeling of having a big and nice brush in my hand. I have a bit of trouble to holding small things, so to have this big brush is nice when I do my work. So, and I'm doing the same on the other side. So, if you would like to have the edges covered, then we can glue it in like this. And if you want them to be a bit rough, you can leave them like this. But I'm going to show you how to do them a bit more smooth. So I'm going to leave about 1 centimeter from the edge. You don't need to be making it straight and nice. We are going to cover it anyway, so just leave a bit to fold. And you are folding it from the outside to the inside. So this is the inside of the cover that you are looking at now. Actually, it doesn't matter because we are going to decorate both the front and the back, but for making it easy and give it a rule, let's say that we are gluing the overlap textile on the inside of the cover. Like this. So now you can see we have a bit that overlaps. So to make a smooth corner, I'm going to cut a bit of an angle like that. You see I'm leaving a little bit on the corner. And doing the same on all 4 sides. Like that. And as we have the same color here, it doesn't matter. Now if we put this down it will cover the corner, and if it shouldn't, it doesn't matter because we have the white on the other side too. So then I'm just taking this piece that I left and I'm folding it in like this, and I'm doing the long sides first. I actually go to do the same on the fold, so I'm cutting a bit of an angle where the spine is too and doing it like a V. So that we can fold this. Without any problems. A little V shape. I had some color on my brush when I glued it, so it became pink. But we are going to layer this, so it doesn't matter. If you're not going to use your sewing machine and sew around this, be sure to glue it properly. Use rather more than less, and make sure that you put glue on every corner properly. And we have the cover covered. I probably had a thread under this part, you can see, but I'm going to cover it, so it doesn't matter. So this is our basic cover, and as we are going to sew in the signatures, we are going to leave the spine undecorated. So when we have sewn in and the threads are visible on this part, we will going to cover them with some lace or something that kind of make it cover the threads. So don't think so much about the spine at the moment. So then it's time to do the fun part, the decorations. And you can use more of the textile if you would like to, or maybe some different kind of papers. Some embroidery, maybe from a tablecloth. My first outside layer is going to be handmade paper. So I'm going for white again. And this will be the first layer, and then I'm going to sew around each of these pages. But you don't need that. I'm just doing that because I want to show you the options if you would like to sew. So I'm checking where I have my spine. And then I will try to rip it so we will get the same feeling as the rip side. So then it will go like that. Doing the same on the other side. distraction is so I'm doing the same. I'm layering the paper using my bone folder to make sure that it glued down properly. So we're going to continue with the inside, and I'm going to use textile on the inside, but a bit more fun than this totally white one. So I will just let this dry a little bit before we turn it over and glue on the inside. So I will be back with you in a second. So for the inside decoration of the cover, I'm going to use a couple of textile pieces. Maybe it's better if I put them the right way, not upside down. Kind of something like this, I think. Doing like this first, and then we will put it in place and glue the edges later on. Like that, and the same on the other side. It's easier to kind of get it in place before I do the kind of gluing it perfectly down. Now I can see that I needed to move it a little bit more to not kind of get in the spine. Now I can fold both of them without anything getting into the spine. So now I'm gluing the edges. And now we need something on the spine. And I actually think I'm going to use this piece of the white paper that was left over from the front. Just to give it a little bit more strength and cover up these textile pieces that I glued on the inside. That way we could use up the leftover from the front papers. Checking so everything is glued down properly, especially the corners. Okay, we have the inside and we have the outside basic done. Now it's starting to get a bit sturdy and nice. And that's, now you can see when I folded it, this needs more glue. A little bit more on the top. Okay guys, the basic of the cover is done, and I think I will stop for now and then leave this to dry, and then I'm going to sew around it so I can show you the next part, how I have made it. And then we are going to continue and make the cover decoration before we put in the signatures. Thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful, and if you have any questions, please let me know in the description box or send me an email. You will have my email and information last in the video. So if you are looking, please look all the way to the end where you have some information about my Etsy shop, about my email address, and also some information about papers that we are going to use in case you want to have printables. So I will put that by the end of the recording. Maybe not this time, but the following times when we are going to use some digitals, you might need to or want to know where I have got them. So that was all for now. I hope I will see you soon again, and that you think this is helpful. So if there's anything you want me to show more or show again or show differently, please let me know and I will try to be as helpful as I can. Thank you for watching, and until next time, bye bye from Sweden.